A change in perception can change everything. Today I'd like to talk about one of the most powerful ideas that has transformed my life. The idea that when we see change the way we see things, the things we see begin to change. It might sound strange. I mean, how can changing our perception change our reality? It can't be. Surely reality is reality. People are who they are. Situations are what they are. Life is simply what is happening to us. But if you stop and think about it, every single experience you have ever had has been filtered through your perception. Two people can go through exactly the same event and come away with completely different experiences. So why is that? One person might see rejection, the other will see redirection. One person sees failure, the other person might see it as a lesson. The event is exactly the same. What changes is the meaning that we give it. And it's often the meaning we give something that creates our emotional experience. So many of us spend years trying to change people, circumstances around us. What if the doorway to peace isn't changing what's on the outside of us, and it's what's changing how we look at it? We will find things to fear. If we're insecure, you'll find evidence for that, that you're not enough. Or if we're expecting rejection, we may interpret neutral situations as rejection. So the mind becomes like a projector. It projects its belief onto the world and then points at the world as proof that those beliefs are true. But the beautiful thing about this is that perception can change. We can change our perception of things. The circumstances may not have changed overnight, but your relationship with them changes. So you feel better. You feel more at peace. You feel more open. And you stop fighting reality and working with it. So one of the simplest examples is when somebody doesn't reply to a message, your ego might immediately say, why are they ignoring me? Why have they not responded? Have I done something wrong? No. I mean, within minutes, you can feel upset, anxious. Those are all the kind of emotions that come from thinking that, your perception of that. So what if instead you think, okay, they might be busy, they're just having a busy day, this has got nothing to do with me, and just notice how that feeling changes. The event hasn't changed, but the interpretation has. So suddenly you're feeling more at peace. There's my neighbour, and you're feeling more just peaceful, more neutral. Your ego hasn't gotten involved. So not every thought deserves to be believed. Be careful what you're thinking. Many are simply habits, bad habits, from learned experiences from our past. So the goal isn't to force positive thinking. That's not what I'm saying. The goal is to become curious. Start becoming curious. Question the way that you're seeing things. Is there another way I could look at this? That question alone can be completely life-changing, and it has for me. You open the door to a different experience, and so instead of feeling trapped inside one interpretation, you become willing to see differently. So the willingness is so powerful. You don't have to know the answer, and you don't have to instantly even feel better. You simply need to become willing to see things through the eyes of love, rather than fear, rather than guilt. Willing to consider that there may be another perspective available to you. So let me share a simple tool that you can use whenever you find yourself feeling upset, stressed, overwhelmed, guilty. So I call it pause, question, and choose. Step 1, just pause. The moment you notice yourself becoming emotionally charged, stop. Take a slow breath and don't react immediately. Don't send that message, don't make that phone call, don't continue the argument. Just pause. Give yourself the space. Okay, step 2, just question and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? What am I believing in this moment? Could there be another way of looking at this? Don't judge the answer, just become aware of it. Often this alone begins to soften the emotional charge. And step 3, choose the perception that brings you closer to peace. Not denial, don't pretend. Peace. Okay, so ask yourself, what would love see here? What would my wiser self say? What perception feels better? And then just allow yourself to rest there. Let it go, just rest. It doesn't mean difficult things won't happen, okay? They will, because life still has challenges, people disappoint us, plans will change, we'll lose things, loss will happen, but we will always have the power to choose the lens through which we view those experiences. And that lens can either create suffering or it can create growth. One of the greatest freedoms in life is realizing that we are not prisoners of our first thought. We can choose again and again and again, every single day. So the next time you find yourself feeling stuck, just ask yourself, am I reacting to reality or am I reacting to my perception of reality? And if it's perception, remember that perception can change. A new perspective can create a new feeling. A new feeling can create a new action, and a new action can create a whole new outcome.